And welcome to a new edition of the Red Mountain Express. We are back after being kind of scattered for the last few weeks. We did not come on the air for Mother's Day just because it's Mother's Day. We're all spending time with our moms. But we do have a few temporary changes to the show. Our wonderful co-host, Matthew Joyner, and his wife had the arrival of their very first child. Was it last week? Last week, the day after Mother's Day, right?
Yep.
And so he is spending some time playing the game called Poop or Chocolate, and it's a losing game.
It's always poop.
Yeah, it's always poop. And so he's going to take a break and spend some time with his family and enjoy a wonderful new child. But Patrick Tucker is with us. He is going to fill in for Matthew for the time being and maybe for the rest of his life. But we're glad to have you here, Patrick.
Thanks. It's big shoes to fill, so I'll try my best.
Don't lie. We don't miss Matt. We do, because we're sitting here looking at this recorder right now going,
I really hope it's
I
recording.
hope this is working. I'm actually just checked if my microphone was on. But anyway, Matthew, we miss you. I know you're going to edit this yourself, so please make us sound good. And if we don't, well, that's okay too. But yeah, did you have a good Mother's Day?
I did. We actually spent it. My cousin got married, so we're very excited for them. Congratulations to Avery and John. But we were down in Fairhope, Alabama, so we were actually driving back from the coast on Mother's Day, so that was not thrilling for my wife, who had to spend her Mother's Day with all of my family at a wedding, and then driving away from essentially the beach.
Was the devil sign up yet?
It was not back up yet. I actually noticed it on the way down that I was like, what happened to the sign? I guess it's been down for a while now.
So it fell down at some point.
Like, I think a storm knocked it over.
Yeah, and it'd been down just like sitting there forever. And then finally, the construction company that Mr. Newell had owned, and I think the family of that construction company, finally went and they moved it originally. It was at this one location. If you were going north, it was that first location. And then they moved it near the...
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, because I don't know that we said it, the go to church or the devil will get you sign.
It's an iconic sign, man.
Everybody's seen the sign. It's been all over the place. It is now officially back up.
Yeah.
So as of, I think, this past week, right after all of our Mother's Day travel through there, they've now, I think we saw where the sign, like this, they had stubbed it in. They had
right.
the structure back up, but the sign wasn't actually back on there. But the sign's back up now.
Yeah, like I said, they moved it to be more of a scenic location, which, I mean, it's a don't go to church of the devil will get you sign. I mean, it's not like it needs to be scenic, but it's back up. It's an Alabama icon, and I'll tell a story. One time, my wife and I were coming back from Montgomery to Birmingham, and there was somebody standing on the sign, like taking a picture one time, and I was like, really? People are pulling over to take a picture of the sign?
It's a landmark.
It is a landmark. I mean, people talk about how, every time they come to Birmingham, they'll talk about that sign. So
yeah, I've talked to people from other places, Indianapolis, that would drive down to the beach and come down that way, and they would still talk about that sign.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
That's wild.
But speaking of weddings, there was another wedding.
There's a royal wedding.
There was a royal wedding.
Did you get up early to watch it?
I got up early not to watch it. I got up early because my kids got up early. One of them ended up in the bed with us at like 4 a.m. But then my wife was live streaming it in the bed, so I watched a few minutes of it. It was very exciting.
We made an ordeal of it because my wife and I will say I am to a lesser extent are Anglophiles. So we made like sausage cheese balls and we had mimosas. And we watched the whole thing.
Are sausage cheese balls particularly British?
No, but I really like sausage cheese balls. So they're just damn good. But we did that and watched it. And like, I don't know. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous how much we pay attention to this stuff. Like, it has no bearing on us. But I mean, people all around the world were watching it. But most people are talking about how the Episcopal priest from the United States, he gave the sermon, which I guess they do at every wedding, right. And it was he got lively, and you could tell the Brits were like, what is this man doing? But it was. I remember he started preaching. I was like, oh, he's doing this. Yeah. This is happening, and so like you can see Queen Elizabeth over there going, I wish this man would just shut up.
Calm down, son.
Calm down. But it was actually really good what he was saying. He talked about love, and it was wonderful. But we watched it.
I thought it was interesting. They really tried to include a lot of diversity in the wedding, which I thought was awesome and appropriate. So I appreciated that, and of course, I mean, this is a huge deal. But I liked her first husband on Suits better. her. Did you ever watch that show, Suits? That
No.
She was on. Oh
No.
God, you got to watch that show. It's a great show. It's I think there were like 6 or 7 seasons of it.
She was in Horrible Bosses, I want to say. I think that's where I've seen her in. Is that right?
I don't know what else she's done.
I don't think she. I mean, look, she's a great actress. I'm sure she's a great actress, but this is not like it's not like Jennifer Aniston marrying a royal. This is like she's a good actress.
Yeah. But I really do. I love the show Suits. I highly recommend it. Go watch it. I'm just disappointed there won't be any more of them now.
I mean, I guess you can explain away. If she got married.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it got canceled before that or not, but it's definitely done now.
So, are you saying her acting career is over?
I would venture to guess that the royal family would look down on her continuing to be an actress.
The royal family always looking down on things, So. I don't get it. But hey, it was a pretty wedding. Looked really expensive. They had a ton of people there, and it wasn't done in London. It was done outside of London at Windsor Castle, I think. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. But other than that, your Mother's Day was good. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
Other than coming back from the beach.
Other than that, I think it was fine. It was not the best Mother's Day ever. We'll have to make up for it next year. So everybody hold me to that.
Yeah. Well, let's take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about a few stories going around Birmingham. And right now, let's hear from our friends over at Beecham Woodworks and their wonderful quality furniture. So take it away, guys. Beecham Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beecham Woodworks creates affordable quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beecham Woodworks, turning your house into a home. And welcome back to the second half of the Red Mountain Express. Speaking of Beecham Woodworks, Patrick, what were you telling me in the break?
I'm about to order a walnut fidget spinner from Beecham Woodworks. I'm very excited about it.
Can you explain fidget spinners to me? Someone needs to, and I know this is like an old thing, and I'm always probably 6 months behind everything, but why are these even remotely
literally
profitable?
Just something to do with your hands while you're sitting there.
So you're going to be sitting at work using this fidget spinner?
Actually, we have Altec branded fidget spinners at work.
So this will be your
this is my
home domestic.
Well, yeah, I don't actually have one, so nobody's given me one, but I've seen other people with them, and I'm really jealous. So now I'm ordering one,
like
from Beecham Woodworks.
But you have to spin it the whole time. It doesn't do anything. You have to do all the work.
You spin it, and it spins like it's weighted, and so it has like momentum, so it just sits there. But it's just something to do with your hands. Anyway, I'm very excited about it. I'm going to annoy my wife and kids. I'm sure will want to play with it.
Is this what the kids are doing these days?
It is.
No. Well, when is it going to come in? Have you already ordered it?
I'm supposed to PayPal them. I haven't done it yet. We'll see. I don't know. I'll have to get with Matt to see. He's brokered this whole exchange. So.
He's sitting there shaking his head right now listening to this. Well,
he can just edit the whole thing out if he wants to.
He's probably going to heavily edit this thing. Yeah. So, well, let's get to some news around Birmingham. And kind of sad news. Former SEC Commissioner Mike Sly passed away this past week. He was the SEC Commissioner from 2002, 2015, and he basically was the one that started the whole conference expansion. He brought in Texas A&M and Missouri into the SEC and expanded it. He was also the one that's behind their lucrative television rights that have really set the standard for the college football industry. And he was also one of the biggest reasons that we got the playoff. He had been angling for that for years, and it finally came to fruition. So it was sad to see him pass away. He left a mark on the SEC.
Yeah, I think the number I saw was like 81 championships in 17 different sports over his tenure. It's just amazing.
And then I think it was from 2007 to 2012, the SEC won football national championships every single year.
It's like
seven or eight in a row. So whatever that math is. And then he also was behind the SEC Network, which. I definitely during football season I'll watch it, but I also get to watch some basketball games and baseball games that wouldn't already be on there. And they do a revenue sharing in the Southeastern Conference to where they all put the money in a pool and then it's all distributed out. And that the Big Ten Network started before anybody else, but the SEC Network has far. I think that they got on every single cable network, or more cable networks than anyone ever imagined when it was first launched.
Yeah, it was vastly more successful than some of the other ones, like the Longhorn Network.
Have you ever watched the Longhorn Network?
No,
it's
I haven't.
bad. It's really, and I'm not. Look, I have family members who are Texas fans, and they'll even admit, like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of high school football games on there, and you're like,
right.
So, but sad to see him pass away. I actually have met him a couple times. He used to frequent this diner, which I've talked about a dozen times, called Salem's Diner, for breakfast.
It's a great place.
And I would go there on Saturday mornings when my wife would be working, and he would always be there. And he was very, very nice. He'd always shake your hand. And I think one time they had a video crew in there talking to him. So that's it's a sad story, but it's a good tribute to him that the SEC was stronger. It was better after he left than when he found it. So.
For sure.
Did you see the downtown DoubleTree is going to be transformed? Have you ever seen that downtown DoubleTree? It's huge.
So I've seen it. I've never stayed there or really been to it. But yeah, I saw that it was purchased by UAB, right?
Yeah.
So it was Education Foundation.
Yeah. So it was purchased a couple years ago, actually, and they kind of left it alone. Well, then now they're gonna, I think, rebrand it to the Hilton Birmingham at UAB. They're going to do room upgrades. I think we'll finished in September, which is a pretty quick turnaround. They're going to add 2 new restaurants. One's more of a grab and go, and the other one will be like an upscale restaurant. And I will say this: if you've ever been, the University of Alabama, they had the Sheraton at the University of Alabama. Well, The university bought it and turned it to the Capstone Hotel, and they use it as an educational tool. Now, nothing I've read has said UAB is going to do this, but I can imagine that they're going to use it for this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the connection to UAB is certainly helpful. I mean, if you have people in hospitality management, those sorts of industries, that I know that Johnson Wales did this. They have a DoubleTree as well that they use, and they have internships and externships there that they the people going to school there work in the hotel. And it's definitely led to a career path for a lot of people. So hopefully they will use it for that purpose. But in the meantime, I mean, it's a 298 room hotel that they're going to be renovating,
and it's big for the city of Birmingham to get up. Not a new hotel, but a hotel that's going to be like, they're going to redo the entrance part of it too. So, and that's it's an older hotel. So
so I mean, I think this is another good thing for the city. Hotel space is an issue. I think in our town, we've talked about that with the DNC and other things that have tried to come to Birmingham but don't have enough hotel space. This doesn't add any hotel space, but I think it updates it, and so it's going to be more of a place people want to stay.
Yeah, and I think the management is going to stay the same. At least the hotel group that runs it's going to stay the same. It's still going to be a Hilton brand, which I prefer. I'm a Hilton Honors member.
I was always a Marriott guy.
Really? Yeah. Look, Marriotts are good too now. Don't get me wrong, but Hilton, I don't know. I like their Honors program.
When I started my career in consulting, one of my first clients was Marriott, so I stayed at a lot of Marriotts.
Sure. I had a funny story just to kind of sidetrack here. One day, like I stay at not a lot of hotels, but I do travel a lot. So I'm like not a silver, but the one up from like a gold member.
Right.
Well, one day I opened up my Hilton Honors, was checking it out, and I was like a diamond member like many times over. And I was like, what in the world's going on? So my very first name is Davis, but I go by middle name Blake. Well, some David Westbrook was staying out at this hotel in Arizona for like a month and a half, and they put all of his honor points on me. Well, I was a good person, and I called and said they made a mistake, and so they're like, "Oh, we'll take care of it," and they never took it. So, like for a whole year and a half, I was a diamond member.
They probably gave it to him and kept it.
And
for
kept
you
it for me, yeah,
for being such a good person, Blake.
I tell you what, I just can't help myself sometimes.
Sometimes being a good person has its rewards.
I guess, but no. So it was nice being a diamond member, like, because then you could be like, complain, like, you know what, I'm a diamond member, instead of like, I'm a silver member. Well, you don't stay here enough, sir. So why don't you go back up to your infested room?
Yeah, I had the gold or platinum, something that I never want to have again because I don't want to stay in that many hotels ever again. But yeah, it felt good to be like, they're like, you're a platinum member. Okay, I'll take care of that right away for you, sir. Instead of being like, you've never stayed here before.
Yeah. Right. Well, and the cool thing about this hotel is they're gonna like the decoration is going to have kind of a UAB feel to it. They're going to have like pictures and stuff. There is a bunch of Hiltons around FSU where I recently stayed in Tallahassee, and I had FSU stuff all in my room.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I mean, it was nice to know that, oh, that's great. You still lost to Alabama. So anyway.
We broke your quarterback. Sorry.
Wow. You went there. I didn't. Okay. I don't think any FSU fans listen to this anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So, in tech news, Amazon might be coming to Bessemer. This is not HQ2.
No.
But
sadly.
It's a distribution center, which is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of jobs potentially for the area. So I know they were looking at it. I don't know when the decision is going to be final.
Yeah, so this is they broke the story. I think it was from the Business Journal. They broke the story, and then AL.com got a hold of it, and a bunch of other outlets, and they were trying to kind of keep this quiet. But it's 1,500 jobs. It's going to be in an old U.S. Steel site if they pick Bessemer at a site that's 855,000 square feet. So now I am not a tech nerd, and I think Patrick, you are just a little bit.
I am.
So the distribution site is like if I order something from Amazon, this is where they have all the products and they ship it out to me, right?
Yep.
Would this make things quicker in Birmingham?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
In
like
some
I've ordered
areas,
some shoes and I hadn't got them yet. So.
Well, in some areas like Atlanta, they have like same day delivery for certain things where it's like you order it that day it's at your door. This is not the drone flight in which they I think experimented with, it's still same day delivery. So having a distribution center closer would hope speed things up.
Is it Amazon that wants to like get into put your stuff in your car or your
yeah, the trunk of your car? That's a real service.
That's not happening, man.
I don't. I was actually reading about that the other day because I was like, this is fascinating. But it's basically the cars with like one OnStar.
With like a online
remote, yeah, and you have to have like the subscription to that account or whatever, and then the Amazon person gets there and requests access, and you can just tell them, "Yep, put it in my trunk," and they can put it in the trunk of your car.
Next thing you know, they're going to want access to your house.
No, that's already a real thing too, where you could.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, where you basically apartments or whatever, you could actually give them. Yeah. Somehow access to your house to put this in. I don't know much about that.
UPS guy just throws it on my front.
Yeah, I mean, package theft I think is a real problem, but yeah. So hopefully this would get stuff to you faster, or to the Birmingham area faster, and it's going to bring in a lot of jobs to the area. I would think
1,500 jobs. That's like not a car plant, but I mean that's a lot of damn jobs.
And I mean, Amazon has a lot of automation in their facilities, obviously.
Not Walt Disney here, man. Well, I mean, they do have Amazon Prime Video, so right. Maybe they do have a cartoon or two on
there. But still, 1,500 jobs. I mean, that's a big place, and that's a lot of people in that area could definitely use some jobs. So
absolutely. So we'll update you on that story. It's not official yet. This was they're looking at it, but. I'm gonna say this: if this made it to the press, I mean,
hopefully it's a done deal.
Hopefully it's a done deal. Get it done, guys. So on tech, you were telling me something.
In other tech news, so we recently had the Rise of the Rest tour, which is a bus tour that was started by I think it's Steve Case, who's the one of the original founders of AOL. Came to Birmingham. It's they're doing like a 33 city tour. 8,000 miles, they said. And they're going to each city, and they're looking. This is really the goal of this tour is to place emphasis on the tech startups outside of sort of the mainstream areas like the Silicon Valley and San Fran area.
Yeah, the Bay Area.
As well as New York and Boston, which are kind of other big hubs of tech. This is really to find and with Shipt recently getting purchased, I think this has kind of placed a lot more emphasis on Birmingham as being a tech hub.
And how many cities did you say this was?
33 different cities.
So that's pretty cool. We were chosen out of 33 cities.
Right.
I mean,
it's not like they're going to every state.
Yeah.
They're really focusing on a few specific cities. So part of this, which I thought was really cool, is there's actually a contest in each city where you do sort of a presentation or a pitch for your product, your tech product or tech startup. And there's actually a $100,000 prize that they're giving out associated with this. And so there was a local company here that is actually, I would say it's a mom and pop startup, but it's not. It's a mother and daughter startup. And the company's called Mixtros.
I think that's yeah.
Mixtros, maybe?
Mixtros, yeah.
It's a mobile networking app, and I forget the name of the folks that started it. I'd have to look it up. But it's basically for live in-person events like conferences and things where you would want to be networking. It's a way to go basically create a digital presence that ties to the networking event. So you go and you fill out your basic information, and I go meet Blake, or it might connect me to other people with similar interests at that event so that we could network in real life. So it's a really cool idea, and they won the $100,000 prize. And I think they've been sharing an apartment and all this stuff since they started the company. So it's a great thing for them. Really happy for them. Glad they won this.
That's a pretty cool app. I know I watched the small video that they have on their website, which we'll post on the show notes. And it was basically they had numbers set around a room, and like you could go back and see what number you were under and see all the people there. You can get all their information. So I will say this, as someone who does go to a lot of conferences, sometimes you'll talk to somebody at a conference and you'll talk about collaborating, then you'll trade cards or something, and then you'll lose the card, or maybe you'll just kind of forget who you were talking to or don't have a card. This is really, really cool. And I have a feeling that somebody's going to gobble them up. They're going to they'll fill an offer at some point. But a good local business, $100,000, is that what you said?
Yeah, $100,000.
That can pay for space for them to actually have office space. That can help them expand and do some advertisement. But the video had some just random people at this thing, and they were using it, and everybody seemed really impressed by it. So how cool is that?
Yeah, it's very cool. And it's Ashley Ammons and Carrie Schrader are the two people whose names I can't remember. They moved here actually from Nashville to be a part of, I think, the Innovation Depot or the Velocity Accelerator, which is really cool. So it's a great program, and super happy for them.
Rise against the rest.
Rise of the rest.
Rise of the rest. Against the rest. Rise against. Listen to me. Rise against the machines. Well, good news to have. We'll post some information about the company on our show notes, and we'll even have that video up there as well that you can kind of see how it works. Our final story is a really cool story. Highlands Bar and Grill won a couple James Beard Awards after they had been nominated like 10 times. They were awarded Most Outstanding Restaurant, which is like the big award.
That's the big one.
Yeah, it's kind of like Best Picture. And then their pastry chef won Most Outstanding Pastry Chef in the United States. And you have been to Highlands Bar and Grill, right? I have never been there because it's really expensive. So we have talked. My wife and I talked about going there for our anniversary. So you have. Tell us about it. How good was it?
I've been there one time. I went with my wife and her mother, and it was very nice. It is very elegant, and they do an amazing job of serving food there. And obviously, the food is very foodie. It's very it's their whole concept is kind of French cuisine mixed with Southern food, and he does an amazing job with it. I would go back again. I want to give it another shot. The one time we went, we maybe misordered some things and didn't really understand what we were ordering, or maybe I'm just not that much of a foodie. But it was not. It's definitely somewhere I would want to go back to and try the food again. I've heard more and more people tell me about different dishes they had there that were just amazing, and I want to go again.
Well, after he won, a bunch of stories came out about Frank Stitt, who is the owner of Highlands Bar Grill. He also owns Chez Fon Fon, which is next door, which I've been to more than once. It's excellent. And he also owns Bottega.
Bottega, right? Yep.
And Bottega is excellent, too. Yeah. I love Bottega. And so, but they talk about how he was really kind of the forerunner to bringing back Southern food, like making Southern food more of a bringing it back like with grits and
right. Making essentially what's comfort food and elevating it. And I mean, he's basically considered the godfather of the Birmingham food scene. I mean, so many chefs have gone through his restaurants and then gone on to start their own restaurants. I mean, just probably too many to even list on the show, but essentially a lot of Birmingham's food scene is really because of him. So
and the thing is that I watched the video of them actually winning the award, and when they opened the envelope, you could tell the lady was like, "I am so happy," because you could tell they think they've been nominated for like the last 8 years.
I think it's 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, and they've always not won, and so finally they came away with the medal, and it was just like, finally. Yeah. Because Birmingham, and you can talk to anybody about this, has a really good food scene.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you have not only Freight and Stitt's restaurant, but you have Chris Hastings' restaurants that are really good, which is Hot and Hot Fish Club, which is excellent. I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there several times.
And then there's Ovenbird, which I know I went there with Matthew for his birthday. Which it was okay. It was just I don't like sharing food.
Tapas is not.
Yeah. Do you share food? I don't.
I do, but my wife hates it. So she's very much like you. She wants something that tastes good, but she wants a full plate of it, and she doesn't want to share it with anybody else.
No, like that's like me going to like somewhere and like, Megan, now do you want fries? No, I don't want fries. Are you sure you don't want fries? Yes, I don't want fries. Now, if I get fries, that doesn't mean you can have my fries. And then I get there, can we have a couple fries? No, these are not the community fries. These are my fries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just don't like sharing. I'm a good person, man. I just don't like sharing food. It's my food.
It's my food.
It's my
Get
food.
your own food.
Yeah. Every now and then I'm like, oh, this tastes good. You should try it.
Yeah.
That means I will portion you off how much I want you to try. That don't mean you need to go in there and scoop with a big spoon. Am I being mean?
Protective.
I'm very protective of my food. But no, we have a really good food scene, from high class restaurants like the Highlands Bar and Grill to just like barbecue joints that are good in town to hot chicken, which is
it's become a thing now.
It is a thing now. I went downtown a couple weeks ago and went to the Birmingham one, Eugene's, and it's
so good.
So good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah,
I actually like it better than the Hattie B's.
Hattie B's is good.
Hattie B's is good. I thought the one here was not as good as the one that's actually in Nashville. Yeah. I don't know why. It's probably just pure bias on my part,
right.
But I think Eugene's is outstanding. I love it.
Yeah. The thing about you have to just be careful getting the hot sauce. Like sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm just going to step it up. I'll step up my game and get that one, and I'll have indigestion for 3 days. But we have good food, and then also some of the best taco trucks around, especially the one on 280 at the Shell station. That
our favorite place.
we
keep them in business.
We keep them in business. They think they know our name. Like, hey, welcome back. You get the regular. Yeah, let's add a quesadilla on top of that because in case I didn't want to take a nap when I get to the office, let's make sure that's part of it. So, but no, very very good for Highlands Bar and Grill. So
yes, super happy for them. I mean, I think that they've deserved this award for many years. I mean, this is only the maybe third time in the last 20 plus years or something like that it's gone to a city outside of New York or San Francisco or LA.
And think about that too.
It's crazy. Or maybe Vegas. I don't know.
And they won 2 awards. I mean, it was like it rained.
Yeah.
Instead of going over forever, and then finally they won both. Dessert and the main course.
Lester Miles, the one best pastry chef. So that's amazing.
They're busy as hell right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure everybody in town that's like, oh yeah, I haven't been back there in a while. It's like, oh yeah, I got to go back there.
And then people that are coming to town, are like, oh, we're going there.
They just won the James Beard Award. Yeah, of course. I mean, probably make a reservation in advance.
That's exactly right. I think we're going to try Gian Marco's here soon in Homewood, and that's excellent. And they have the pizza place. It's supposed to be really good too.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to try that yet, but it's on my list.
It's on your list. Well, this is our first Matthew-less show.
Hope we did okay.
Hope we did all right. He is listening right now. He is still going to be editing and producing, and he'll be putting up the show notes. So he'll have a little bit of work to do, but this has kind of been entertaining for us because we know Matthew's listening right now and just shaking his head and probably throwing things against the wall, but we don't care. So, but no, we do miss him, and we hope that he hurries back, but not too fast. But it's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed it very much.
Well, good. Well, that's going to wrap it for this edition of the Red Mountain Express. If you would like to get a hold of us, you can always go to our website at redmountainexpress.com, or you can join us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we will get back to you. Let us know what you want to hear. So, for Patrick Tucker, I'm Blake Westbrook. We'll see you next week.